for us, kind is about being kind to your body, to your taste buds, and to the world. You'll see how the innovations are part of that story and part of what we believe in.
We are a mom brand, but a kid product.
I would push back from any marketer who felt they didn't have an obligation to do more than just make commerce happen. Think about how you can make it happen in a meaningful way.
Let's start first with the philosophy of what we're trying to be, because I think the most important thing in marketing is to be true to what you're trying to become and really understand what your brand, and then be true across everything you do. So for us, kind is about being kind to your body, to your taste buds, and to the world. So you'll see how the innovations are part of that story and part of what we believe in.
So our product is an authentic beverage. It's a beverage that is, as we say, nature got it right and we put it in a bottle. So it's just a very simple product with as few adornments or enhancements from nature as is necessary.
Our products are designed for children with a lot of innovation in the recipe development, in the ingredients that we use, very carefully calibrated for children. And that's what I think one of the important aspects of Kidfresh is that although it's a kid's product, it is a mom brand.
How do we make consumers aware of the product? Ours is a product you really have to taste. And that's, it's hard to, short of sort of getting samples out to each individual, we're not going to be able to taste through the TV, and you can tell people about a less sweet taste. More than 50% of our marketing goes to the sampling efforts. So we call it guerrilla marketing, field marketing, and it's when people are out in the field, whether it's concerts, whether it's stores, demos.
So in our industry, it's very common that people give a product to try. We have the highest conversion rate. We have 98% conversion rate in the industry. The average is 52.5, according to absolute data. So if you give a person one of our products or others, 98% of people will want to eat it again or encourage their friends to eat one, to recommend it. So it's obvious, at least it became obvious once I realized it, that you want to just get as many people to try Kind Bar so they become kindaholics.
We mostly work in two different ways. The first one is to work with our retailers to have promotion and merchandising at the point of sale. And the second way is to work essentially through social media, because moms are the most active population on social media. Our team spends an awful lot of time working with our social media tools as well as bloggers in the United States to get the message out that we are a new brand, that we are a new product, that we are a solution to busy moms.
So one of the things that we believe in strongly is that the people who are giving out our product, these are our ambassadors, and so we don't outsource it. We don't hire firms. We don't. We may have some hourly people, but they have to be trained. So it's our people spreading that passion, and that's almost as, or if not more important than the actual product we're giving out. We just really find people who are passionate about it, are effective at communicating the brand, and then we give them opportunities to continue to grow.
When you look at the Kidfresh packaging is, again, speaking to the mom, but with a clear indication that it's a kid's product. It looks more like a vitamin water design than a kid's product with all the noise and characters and flashy colors. Is trying to strike a balance between the kid's product and the mom brand.
Well, let's start first with the philosophy of what we're trying to be, because I think the most important thing in marketing is to be true to what you're trying to become and really understand what your brand, and then be true across everything you do. So for us, kind is about being kind to your body, to your taste buds, and to the world. So you'll see how the innovations are part of that story and part of what we believe in. It's very important to our brand to have enormous integrity and transparency in everything we do. So transparency starts actually with our packaging. You see that it's clear packaging. Every one of our major competitors, when we were introducing the product, had opaque packaging that protected the product from being seen because it was an emulsion and not a very pleasing looking product. We introduced clear film, and it actually shook the space enough that a number of our competitors actually now have tried to introduce clear film, but their product is still what it was before. It's still an emulsion or a paste, so It doesn't necessarily mean that you should follow your competitors and introduce clear film when the product is not something you want to showcase.
So we try to have a very open conversation with the consumer. This is who we are, this is the product, look at it. The ingredient list is that long, and it's only ingredients that you can pronounce.
You're our head of a market. I'll give you two priorities. The first one is to challenge me and to challenge the company and challenge all of our assumptions and bring fresh ideas and innovate and question every single thing we're doing and question whether you can bring fresh ideas to the table and not accept any of our assumptions as givens and just constantly bring fresh ideas, innovate, and question the legacy that we're bringing to the table.
Well, the food industry is actually not an industry that innovates a lot. The big food companies actually do not innovate. They just renew their product lines, extend their existing product lines, extend their existing brands, and that's about it. There's a lot of innovation that actually needs to come from the food industry in all of these aspects, from packaging to recipes to ingredients to processes to supply chain to sourcing ingredients. When you develop a product and you want this product to be natural, to be as close as possible to nature, it is actually extremely difficult.
For us, what's been very important at Kind is to try to find the balance between maintaining wholesomeness but also making a product convenient. I think there's a lot of challenges in doing that. It's much easier to make something artificial or long-lasting where it loses the essence of the product. And for us, what we're trying to do both with our fruit nut bars, with the Kind fruit nut bars, but also with new products that we're launching in the coming months, is to challenge that notion and to try to come up with something that people can recognize but that takes their taste buds to the next level.
You know, even now we're looking at some focused efforts this summer, and it's either going to have to be unconventional message or unconventional media. But for us to do conventional message and conventional media, we'll just get drowned out. We just don't have the resources to go against the larger brands. And frankly, I don't know that our consumer responds to those messages anyway. I think for us, conventional marketing doesn't work.
One tool that I use when I'm starting a company or an idea or an initiative is to go from the creative process to the skeptic process to the evangelist process, and I think it might serve well anybody that's doing marketing. First, the creative process is you unbound yourself. You don't let any filter constrain you, and where you're in the brainstorming process, you just let your creativity go, and people have different approaches to do that, but the main point is don't let anything stop you. If you're not coming up with truly stupid ideas, you haven't done your creative process sufficiently well. You have to come up with some crazy ideas, with things that make no sense, that everybody's gonna laugh at, because unless you've done that, you probably haven't pushed yourself enough. So first, that creative process. Then you have to enter the skeptic phase, and you have to really question every assumption from both very practical stances of do we have the resources, can it fit, to thinking about your brand, does it make sense to our brand, does it fit with our brand, to metrics about can it actually drive the needle and make an impact. And you have to be very skeptical. But at one point, once you're 100% comfortable, you can defend it. And I think that you've done all the necessary research and really been thorough. You have to press a switch and you go from skeptic to evangelist. And then in that third process, you can no longer allow anybody to dissuade you from moving forward with your idea. Once you become an evangelist, your job is very different from the prior two phases. It's to own the idea, to champion it, to make it come through. Because some of the most worthwhile ideas are very hard to push through, because by the definition, the most disruptive and powerful potential ideas are things that are hard to swallow. So it's going to take a while. It's going to require a lot of work to get them to come to light.
We were launching across 10 major cities in the United States, and we were trying to figure out how do we introduce people to the brand? How do we even get people, awareness for the brand for most people who haven't heard of it? And we went to each of these cities and we set up a booth called the Honest Store and said it's $1 a bottle honor system. No, there's no cashier, there's no visible cameras. And then we put a lucite box in and just said, put in $1 for every bottle. And got a tremendous amount of curiosity, trial, and media coverage. And so what that did was help raise awareness across the country.
One angle of the social media approach that we are using is working with local bloggers. You have 13.5 million mom bloggers in the United States. So each time we go into a new market, a new region, we identify the most influential mom bloggers in that area and work with them to send them products, send them giveaways. Here's Kidfresh, this is what we stand for. This is our product, why don't you write a review? Our choice strategically has been from the get-go to speak to the mom. We are a mom brand, but a kid product.
It's kind of a cold exercise to just give a person a product to try, and what we try to do is try to turn it into a kind act so that we create a warmer action with our consumers and encourage them to do something nice after the experience. We have about 70 people doing different kind acts and initiating. We've had over 42,000 kindings reported online from people that received that card and then went on to pass it on and do a kind act for someone. Suddenly you have kind acts happening in China, in India, all over the country, and trying to create a movement. And with that, we've played a lot of ways about how to inspire unexpected acts of kindness and how to inspire people to surprise others with kind acts. When we started my first company 16 years ago, there was no word or term social responsibility. We just did something we believed in, and then afterwards, we started finding out that we were called social entrepreneurs.
And marketers are message spreaders, right? You're trying to sway people's minds, whether it's around a cause or a product or an idea. And every time you are trying to get a message to people's minds, you have the chance to really tell more of a story. And so I would push back from any marketer who felt they didn't have an obligation to do more than just make commerce happen. Think about how you can make it happen in a meaningful way.
We live in a world that is hot, flat, and crowded, as Friedman says. The issues that we are faced today are much greater than we can even comprehend in terms of environment, in terms of water, in terms of air, in terms of energy, in terms of even financial issues that put so much pressure into what we do today is not for today, it's for tomorrow.
I think the key to social responsibility, connecting well with the consumer, is for it to be sincere and authentic, and for you as a CEO or marketing person or a company to identify what really is important to you and to really then try to give life to it. And if you do that, then consumers are going to be able to tell that you're sincere, that you're doing it for the right reasons, and that they're going to look at your history, at your track record, and at the different things you're doing and how you're doing it and how it's consistent across all facets, and it'll be very natural and very obvious.
When we launched the company, we put a very small bug on the label. It says plant a tree. And so when we were putting it on the label, my co-founder Barry said, well, what does that mean? Why are we putting that label? I said, I don't know. Because this was 13 years ago. I said, I'm not sure, but it stands for something. It stands for, I don't know what form it will take, but it stands for this idea that we're going to do more than just move around boxes of liquid. And what it's come to mean for us is this commitment to organics, the commitment. This year we're actually planting 50,000 trees as part of a marketing initiative. And then as part of that, we also have given consumers the chance to go online and choose locations around the country where the trees can be planted, and at our cost. And it's a partnership we've had, and so it's been exciting to both empower and to help green the country too.
Almost every CEO and almost every marketing person, if they look down, they also have children and they also have families and they also care about the challenge that Matt was mentioning, which are very serious, and they recognize that they have a power to change it. And the question is, how does that get sipped into the company? The best way for it to work is for the business model and the social model to be integrated, so that when you're doing social good and business good, you're advancing one another. If you're able to structure your business model to be at peace with the social model, it's probably the most effective way for it to be sustainable and credible and real.
So I would challenge anybody in marketing to think about their role. They're engaged in commerce. This is where jobs happen, it's where economic opportunity happens, and challenge them to think about their role and how they can have an impact which is greater than just moving around boxes.